Let me ask you something. When life gets tough, when the storms hit, when things don't go your way, where do you turn? Some people panic, some people run, some people let fear control their every move. But there's another way, a more powerful way, and it starts with one simple yet life-altering decision. Trust God. There's God on here lingering, and you know, I'm not talking about just trusting him when things are good, when the bank account is full, when the relationships are thriving, when the health reports come back clean. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold a person back. It creeps in silently, whispering doubts, magnifying obstacles, and convincing you that you're not capable, not worthy, or not ready. It paralyzes decision-making, crushes confidence, and stops people from pursuing their true calling. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. It thrives on uncertainty and loves to distort reality, making problems seem bigger than they really are. The only way to conquer fear is to replace it with something even stronger: faith. Faith is the antidote to fear, the fuel that propels you forward even when the odds seem stacked against you. Putting God in every situation doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you refuse to let fear control you. The Bible repeatedly tells us, do not fear, not because we won't experience scary moments, but because God knows that fear unchecked will lead to inaction and missed opportunities. Faith, on the other hand, is about stepping forward despite the fear, knowing that God is in control. It's about believing in the unseen, trusting that even when you don't have all the answers, the one who does is guiding your steps. Think about the biggest dreams you have, the goals you want to achieve, the kind of life you desire. Now think about what's holding you back. More often than not, it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. But fear is only as powerful as the attention you give it. When you focus on faith, when you choose to trust God instead of your own limited perspective, you unlock doors that fear was trying to keep shut. Look at the stories of those who overcame impossible odds. David stood before Goliath, a boy against a giant, but he wasn't focused on the size of his enemy. He was focused on the size of his God. Peter walked on water, not because the waves disappeared, but because he fixed his eyes on Jesus. The moment he let fear creep in, he started to sink. That's how fear works. It pulls you down the moment you take your focus off faith. But here's the exciting part. Every time you choose faith over fear, you build spiritual muscle. You become stronger, more resilient, more unstoppable. You start seeing obstacles as opportunities, setbacks as setups for something greater. Fear loses its grip because you realize that you are never alone in your battles. God is with you, walking beside you, fighting for you, making a way even when there seems to be none. So what will you choose? Will you let fear dictate your life, keeping you stuck in the same patterns, the same worries, the same limitations? Or will you rise up in faith, step forward even when you don't have all the answers, and trust that God's plan is far greater than your fears? The choice is yours, but remember this. Every time you choose faith over fear, you step closer to the life you were meant to live. Adversity is something everyone encounters at some point in life. It comes in different forms: financial struggles, health challenges, broken relationships, failures, and disappointments. When adversity strikes, it's easy to feel defeated, to wonder why things are happening the way they are, and to question whether there's a way out. But what if adversity isn't meant to break you? What if it's meant to build you? What if the very challenges you're facing right now are not obstacles, but opportunities in disguise? Every great story involves struggle. Think about anyone who has achieved something significant, whether in business, sports, faith, or life. They didn't get there without adversity. The difference is how they responded to it. Adversity isn't a punishment, it's preparation. It's a refining process that strengthens you, stretches you, and shapes you into the person you need to become to handle the blessings that are coming. When you look at adversity through the right lens, you realize that the struggle is actually working in your favor. Consider the story of Joseph. He had a dream of greatness, but before that dream became reality, he was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. From the outside, it looked like everything was going wrong. But what was really happening? God was preparing him. Through every setback, Joseph developed the leadership skills, patience, and wisdom needed to become the ruler of Egypt. If he hadn't gone through the adversity, he wouldn't have been ready for the position of power God had for him. It's the same in everyday life. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Gold isn't purified without fire. Adversity is the process that refines and prepares you. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't go as planned, but what if those very delays, those painful moments, and those unexpected detours are actually part of a bigger plan? What if you're being positioned for something greater? Too often, people pray for strength but want to avoid struggle. They ask for patience but don't want to go through the waiting period. They seek growth but resist the challenges that come with it. But the truth is, you can't develop faith without tests. You can't gain resilience without facing difficulty. The very thing you see as a setback may be the stepping stone to your breakthrough. Instead of running from adversity, embrace it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this preparing me for what's next? Because when you shift your perspective, you no longer see problems, you see preparation. You no longer see delays, you see development. And when you trust that everything is working for your good, even when it doesn't make sense, you come out stronger, wiser, and ready for the next level. Perspective is one of the most powerful tools a person can develop. It shapes how you interpret the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately how you experience life. Two people can go through the exact same situation, yet one will see defeat while the other sees opportunity. The difference isn't in the circumstances, it's in the perspective. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. Perspective has the power to turn obstacles into stepping stones, pain into purpose, and setbacks into comebacks. Life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you interpret it. Some people face difficulties and immediately fall into a victim mindset. They ask, why is this happening to me? But others, when faced with the same struggles, ask, what is this teaching me? That small shift in mindset makes all the difference. The way you frame your situation determines your level of resilience, your ability to overcome, and ultimately your success. Look at the story of David and Goliath. While the entire Israelite army saw Goliath as an unbeatable giant, David saw him as an opportunity. Same battle, different perspectives. One saw an obstacle too big to fight, the other saw an enemy too big to miss. That single shift in perspective gave David the courage to take action when others froze in fear. What if you started looking at your giants the same way? What if, instead of seeing challenges as reasons to give up, you started seeing them as opportunities to grow? Perspective also has the power to transform past pain into a source of strength. Some people allow their past to define them negatively, staying stuck in bitterness, regret, or anger. But others choose to take that same pain and use it as fuel for growth. They understand that every difficulty they've faced has equipped them with wisdom, resilience, and strength they wouldn't have gained otherwise. Your past doesn't have to be a weight that holds you down. It can be a foundation that builds you up. Even in the present, the way you choose to see your circumstances will dictate your emotions, decisions, and overall well-being. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, you'll find more reasons to feel discouraged. But if you start focusing on what's right, on what's possible, you'll find solutions and opportunities you never saw before. Gratitude is a perfect example of this. Two people can have the same amount of blessings, but the one who chooses to focus on them will feel richer, happier, and more fulfilled. The reality is, you will always have two choices: to see life through a lens of limitation or a lens of possibility, to dwell on what's missing or to focus on what's working, to see setbacks as signs to stop or as setups for something greater. Your perspective is your power, and once you master it, nothing in life can truly hold you back. Taking bold action is what separates those who succeed from those who simply wish for success. The difference between a life of regret and a life of fulfillment isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's the willingness to step out in faith, to move even when the outcome is uncertain, and to act when fear tells you to stay still. Bold action isn't about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about moving forward despite the uncertainty, trusting that the next step will reveal itself as you go. Too many people wait for clarity before they take action. They want to see the full picture, to have every answer, to know exactly how things will turn out. But life doesn't work that way. Faith doesn't work that way. If you wait for absolute certainty, you will stay stuck. Every great breakthrough, every life-changing opportunity, every major success story starts with someone deciding to take action, even when they weren't fully ready. Because the truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. Growth happens in motion. Think about Peter walking on water. The miracle didn't happen while he stayed in the boat. It happened the moment he took a step. That's how bold action works. God doesn't lay out the entire path before you move. He reveals it as you walk. If you're waiting for a guarantee before you take the leap, you'll be waiting forever. The greatest opportunities in life are reserved for those who are willing to move first and figure it out along the way. Taking bold action means pushing past fear and doubt. Fear will always try to convince you that you're not ready, that you might fail, that things might not work out. But fear is a liar. It thrives on keeping you small, keeping you stuck, and keeping you from stepping into the life you were meant to live. The moment you stop letting fear dictate your actions is the moment you take back control. Fear may not disappear, but when you take action despite it, fear loses its power over you. Some people wait for motivation before they take action, but that's backward thinking. Action creates motivation. The moment you start moving, even in small ways, momentum builds. Progress fuels progress. Confidence is built through action, not through waiting. The more you step out, the more capable you feel, and the more willing you become to take even bolder steps. It's also important to understand that failure is part of bold action. Every successful person has failed, often many times. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They saw it as feedback, as a lesson, as a stepping stone to something greater. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey to success. Every time you take bold action, whether it works out or not, you are growing, learning, and positioning yourself for bigger opportunities. The only real failure is refusing to try. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life. It has the ability to shift your perspective, change your emotional state, and open the door to unexpected blessings. When you practice gratitude, you are not just acknowledging what is good, you are activating a mindset that attracts more good into your life. It's easy to be grateful when things are going well, but true gratitude is tested in the moments when life feels unfair, uncertain, or overwhelming. That is when gratitude becomes a choice, a discipline, and a key that unlocks miracles. Most people focus on what is missing, what is wrong, or what they don't have. This mindset creates frustration, anxiety, and a sense of lack. But when you shift your focus to what you do have, when you start thanking God for what is already in your hands, you move from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude doesn't just acknowledge blessings, it multiplies them. When you appreciate what you have, you position yourself to receive even more. It's no coincidence that the most joyful and fulfilled people are not those who have the most, but those who are most grateful for what they have. Miracles often begin with gratitude. Before Jesus multiplied the loaves and fish to feed thousands, he gave thanks. Before he raised Lazarus from the dead, he thanked God. These moments reveal a powerful principle. Gratitude precedes breakthrough. Instead of waiting for something big to happen before giving thanks, start thanking God now. Thank him for the lessons in your struggles, for the strength you've built through challenges, and for the opportunities that are on the way. Gratitude is an act of faith. It declares that even before the blessing arrives, you trust that it's coming. Another incredible aspect of gratitude is how it transforms your emotional and mental state. You cannot be truly grateful and anxious at the same time. Gratitude dissolves worry. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, from what is uncertain to what is secure. It's easy to dwell on problems, but the moment you start focusing on gratitude, you reclaim your peace. Your energy changes, your outlook brightens. And because your emotions shape your actions, this shift leads to better decisions, stronger relationships, and new opportunities. Gratitude also deepens your relationship with God. It moves you from simply asking to truly appreciating. Instead of constantly seeking more, you recognize how much you've already been given. This deepens your trust in God's provision, knowing that if he has brought you this far, he will continue to guide and provide for you. Gratitude builds faith, and faith opens the door to the miraculous. Every day you have a choice. Focus on what's missing or celebrate what's already here. The moment you choose gratitude, you step into a flow of abundance, joy, and unexpected blessings. When you train yourself to see the good in every situation, life begins to reflect that goodness back to you in ways you never imagined.